Salutation, dear audience. Prepare to be inspired and empowered as we delve into the realm of business triumph on Elevate Your Business. I'm Ed Jarecki, your host for today's enlightening episode. Thank you for being a part of this enriching experience. Our show is dedicated to enlightening and equipping business owners, professionals, and aspiring entrepreneurs like you with essential knowledge and insights from experts who have achieved success in their life and business. Today's guest exemplifies this mission. So make yourself comfortable, unwind, and let's extend a hearty greeting to our incredible guest today, Marguerita Cheng. Rita is the CEO of Blue Ocean Global Wealth, where Rita brings over 2 decades of experience in financial planning, a passion for diversity and inclusion, and a commitment to financial literacy. She's been recognized as a top influencer in the industry with accolades such as the #3 most influential financial advisor in the Investopedia Top 100. Rita's journey from corporate finance to becoming a champion for ethical financial planning is a story of innovation and resilience. Tune in as we explore Rita's unique perspective on navigating the financial industry and her strategic insights for business growth and client empowerment. As Rita joins us on the show, she'll shed light on what success means to her personally and how her definition has evolved over time, as well as one or two of her top challenges and the associated lessons learned. And finally, for today, we'll explore how Rita has leveraged innovation in her business and other work to overcome challenges and achieve her goals. So join me in welcoming Rita Cheng as we embark on another incredible episode of Elevate Your Business. And without further ado, welcome to the show, Rita. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited about this conversation.
Well, I appreciate it, and it is an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show, so thank you very much. To start, would you mind sharing a little bit more about yourself and your business?
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Marguerita Cheng. My nickname is Rita. The official title is Certified Financial Planner, CFP Professional. I'm the founder of Blue Ocean Global Wealth. That's a financial planning investment advisory firm. But really what I do is I tell people that I give them clarity about all the options that are available out there, a sense of confidence so that they know they are making the right decisions for their personal situation, and control. We can't control interest rates, the stock market, but we can control how we spend, how we save, how we invest, but most importantly, how we react to these events. That's a little bit about the business.
Outstanding. The first question is, how do you define success today?
I love this question. So the first thing that I say about success is don't let other people define success for you. Success means different things to different people. So the first thing is think about what it is that you want, right? As far as what do I want, I define success as being able to, if we're talking about business success, make sure that I have a business that can sustain myself and my families. Yes, you do need money to meet those goals. I also want to make sure that I am making a positive impact in my community and this world. And last but not least, that it is intellectually stimulating, emotionally gratifying. So that's how I define success.
Appreciate that. So you mentioned that that's your definition for business success. And of course, as a business owner and entrepreneur, it's important to really have that idea as to what is personal success. Do you have a definition for that?
Absolutely. So it's interesting. I just returned from a conference yesterday. I was in Las Vegas and I was sitting next to this gentleman, and he and his wife have a boutique financial planning practice. And he told me this. He said, it was never our goal to have like 40 people and have clients to feel like they're a number. So in some ways, personal success is very similar, but I think that it's important to be well. And here's what I mean by well: financial wellness. Make sure that you have financial wellness, emotional, social, mental, spiritual. I think there are going to be some times in your life where you may feel like you focused a little bit more on physical health, for example, but you don't want to sacrifice your physical health just to accumulate financial wealth. So I'd say personal success is making sure that you have time to have fulfillment and development in all those areas of wellness. That's how I define personal success.
So those two things really blend together to make total success. And one of the things that I often state is the fact that for business owners, it's important to have both of those defined because your passion along that journey to success really includes what is personally in it for you, because that's what's going to help you get through the obstacles and challenges that will absolutely occur through that business journey. Any thoughts relative to that?
So well said. So what a lot of people don't know about me is when I started, or when I say when I joined the financial advice profession, I joined with a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old. And there were times when it was very difficult because I didn't really see anybody who looked like me. I'm not just talking about gender, racial diversity, but like demographics. I didn't see any young moms or moms of small children. What sustained me is my North Star was I wanted to change conversations about money and wealth. I wanted to be able to use the skills I learned in corporate finance, strong balance sheets. That's a net worth statement. Healthy cash flows. That's a budget. I wanted to be able to use these concepts, apply them to help individuals and families realize their financial goals. So when things were difficult, I always went back to my why and my North Star. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
What do I want to do? And that is what helped guide me through difficult times.
And I absolutely love that concept of the North Star. I've used that many times myself. And that's that point where if you're not sure, go to your North Star and say, does this align? Am I on that track? What do I need to do or modify or adapt to in order to maintain that focus on the North Star? And if that North Star isn't providing the passion and the drive to continue that march forward, then that may be an opportunity to actually reflect a little bit and determine what that North Star should be. Any comments to that?
So well said. Your business will evolve and your needs may evolve, but your North Star won't really change. So as our businesses evolve and grow, we might have new goals, but my goal never changed to be able to change conversations about money and wealth. And that North Star also allows you, we talk about what you need to do move forward, but it also allows you to pause and reflect and say, you know what? I don't know that I want to do that. That opportunity presented to me doesn't align with my North Star. So I think sometimes we
Yeah.
might be getting to these challenges. Don't feel like you have to say no. Don't feel like you always have to say yes.
Yeah.
It's important for you to know what aligns with your definition of both business and personal success.
That makes sense. So you mentioned that you had this passion and you've essentially established your North Star very early on with two very young children. Incredible challenge, I can only imagine. Has your definition over that time changed or has it maintained that focus?
I think I have maintained that level of focus, meaning, why do I want to be a planner? I want to be able to change conversations about money and wealth because I know I'm not just helping that individual, I'm helping their family, and I'm helping their community. The other thing that's also interesting is I mentioned I started the business with a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old.
Mhm.
So there is a time where I just slowed down a little, just a little, not too much. I said, you know what? I'm not going to be as aggressive with client acquisition. I'm going to focus on serving my existing clients. But this year, I'm going to focus on studying and preparing for the CFP certification exam. So that's what I did. I felt like 3 years in the business, it was important to just kind of reset. One would say, well, you took a step back because you were very intentional about not growing as much. And I think there's some truth to that, but it was very intentional. Then what's interesting, I did pass the CFP certification exam, and that's when I also gave birth to my 3rd child.
Mhm.
So yes, I did slow down and pause. During that time, it was not just for personal reasons. I was giving birth to my 3rd child, my 2nd daughter, but I also used that time to prepare for the exam. So I don't want you to think that if you have reset for your business, that your personal life is going to suffer. Or if you have a reset for your personal life, your business is going to suffer. That's not the case.
No, that makes absolute sense. Matter of fact, that kind of leads us into our next question is what are the top one or two challenges and the associated lessons learned with them?
Absolutely. Sometimes it's intentional and sometimes it's circumstantial. And what I think is very important is that it's the journey, it's the process. What did we learn? And I feel like every time that maybe there has been a setback, the entire time that I was experiencing, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. And I think that's actually, I just came from a conference and we talked about longevity. What is beautiful about longevity? I'm like, it's the wisdom, it's the resilience, it's the
Yes.
confidence, knowing, you know what, I did get through this. It was difficult. Yes, it was. It's okay to say that it was difficult, but how am I going to come out of this? How's my business going to come out of it? So I think about that like with the pandemic. I think about that when my dad was very sick. My dad was sick for 9 years with Parkinson's disease, but the last 3 were particularly challenging. That actually was a difficult time. What did I do? How did I innovate my business? It was circumstantial. I didn't expect my dad to be sick for 9 years.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. So relative to that question, it is a tough journey. What are one or two of those top challenges and the associated lessons learned to pass along to our audience?
So I think one lesson is I don't want people to feel helpless and hopeless. It's true, everyone's journey is going to be different, right? Because we all have different experiences. So the first lesson is don't compare yourself to others, right? The second lesson is be open to feedback. You don't have to do what someone said, because remember, their journey is different, but be open because the more we learn, I mean, the more we share, the more we learn. The more we learn, the more we grow. And I think that
Right.
that's really important. So that I would say those are very important lesson learned. There are people who would say, well, if I were you, I would do X. And your eyes may be rolling, and understandably so, because they're not you. So don't feel like you have to do what someone is saying, but don't discount their view
Yeah,
either.
absolutely agreed. And so in moving towards the conversation around innovation, how do you leverage innovation to deliver your business mission and to get to your vision?
So I was actually explaining this to my daughter to be a financial planner. Empathy and relationships are very important. So yes, AI is here and technology is here, but that cannot replace conversations. So I think it's really important when you think about innovation, understand what you're really good at, right? But then be open to change and adapting. So here's what I mean is I think about being a financial planner, and a lot of people can get advice on the internet. Maybe that's not advice, that's just information. Okay, that's information. So there's no shortage of information, but making sure that information is relevant and meaningful, that's when people will take action. And that's when it comes personalized advice. So I would tell people I have learned to, so the time when my dad was very sick, I recall sitting on the floor next to his bed, whether he was at home or in the hospital. And I was like, what can I do to share my knowledge and help more people? I started to create continuing education programs for financial advisors on topics that I was passionate about. Now, some people would say, well, why would you share your information with your competitors? I don't view my fellow financial advisors as competitors. I really view it as a community. And if we do better by consumers, it is better for our profession.
Read.
So that's the first thing I did with innovation. The second thing I did is I find myself to be an early adopter of fintech, financial technology. I'm like, what can I do to be able to serve more people in a safe, compliant manner? So having client portals and dashboards for people to share information with me, to be able to present their financial plan to them virtually. So I don't necessarily jump on every trend, but I think it's important to look at what trends there are and see how you can implement that into your business.
Yeah. Enabling that biz tech or whatever it happens to be to achieve your strategic goals, to move you towards your vision. That makes complete sense. Any final takeaways that you would like to share with our audience?
So I would tell people, don't be afraid to start, right? It may not be perfect. And I'm not asking you to just jump out of bed and start a business, but don't feel like it has to be perfect. Yes, you need to be persistent and try things, but you also, I'm going to give you permission to stop doing things. So here's what I mean is, let's just say you hear, you know what, I heard I'm supposed to have a blog, because everybody has a blog and everyone has a newsletter. But then you realize you hate writing, maybe that's not for you. Maybe you do a podcast, or maybe you film videos. So don't feel like you have to do what everybody is doing. It's okay to be different. So as much as people tell you, hey, you got to be patient, persistent, this is a word that also has a P. Sometimes there's value in just reflecting and pausing and reflective and asking yourself, why am I doing this? And do I really need to be doing this?
Your comment relative to blogs resonates with me because I've literally tried blogs 6 times and I'm horrible at them. Let's just put it that way. So I actually did have to pivot and make that decision that this is not for me. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to hire somebody to do it. But what else can I do to help pay it forward and to drive conversation, meaningful conversation, to help my audience really grow, learn from the experiences from people that I meet, my guests on my podcast show, et cetera. And that's one of the reasons that I pivoted to my podcast, was exactly that reason. So resonates well with me. Hopefully it does for our audience out there as well.
Oh my goodness, I absolutely love that. That's hilarious. And then if someone said, you know what, I hear that the algorithm on social media application loves video and you hate filming video and you're stressed and you're not smiling, then don't film videos. So it's so important to take the time to think about what you like and how you like to engage with your audience.
Absolutely. I want to thank you so much for being here today. Any final comments or thoughts for our audience?
I'm so appreciative of this opportunity. And
No,
reach out with any questions. I'm Marguerita Cheng on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to help you in your journey.
outstanding. I want to thank you all for joining us today, and a special thank you to our incredible guest, Marguerita Cheng, for sharing her insights, experiences, and success tactics with us. We hope this conversation has left you inspired and motivated to embrace the challenges of entrepreneurship with vigor, innovation, and adaptability. Remember, success comes in many forms, and it's essential to define it for yourself. Take the lessons shared by Rita to heart as you navigate your own entrepreneurial journey. Embrace change, seek out opportunities for growth, and always be willing to adapt to the ever-evolving landscape of business. Thank you once again to our phenomenal guest, Rita Cheng, and thank you all for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next time as we continue exploring the stories behind incredible entrepreneurs. Stay resilient and stay innovative, everyone. Have a wonderful day.